Hello. Oh, I think we're starting. So, hello everybody. My name is Kelly and I'm the CEO and founder of Kelly Kinetics. I don't know. I think it just started now. So, my name is Kelly. I'm the CEO and founder of Kelly Kinetics, and I'm here today to continue sharing my personal health and wellness story with you. So, where I left off last week was talking about my fibroids, and I had been at a point where I was more interested in getting stronger, so extra weight on me, I didn't really care about it so much. Um, so, something popped up. I'm just like, okay. uh, so I was most interested in getting strong, and I think I already talked about how much my heaviest deadlift was and all that. But the other thing that started happening was because I had this extra weight on me. Not my clients that had been around for a long time, but there was one client in particular who was newer, and she looked down and she's like, "Are you pregnant?" And I'm like, "No." And I think I said to her, I have fibroids. Um, so, and she's like, "Oh." But the fact that anyone said that, that was a little bit disturbing to me. So then I thought to myself, oh, well, perhaps I need to work on just getting that weight off again so nobody asks me that again, because I don't have any intentions of getting pregnant, so I don't want people to think that I am, right? Um, so I got rid of the weight and then all was good. I don't know. Sorry, I must digress. There's this thing popping up saying action needed, key frame rate too low. I have never seen that in my life while doing a live. I have no idea what that is. I'm not going to click on learn more because I'm in the middle of a live, so leave me alone, pop up. Alright. Um, so, let's see, enter. Okay. So, so yeah, I took the weight off. All is good, right? Um, so my fibroids, they're always there in the background, but for the most part, I'm like, you know what? They're not bothering me. They're not. For the most part, I would say it hasn't changed my periods all that much. So I was like, if they're not causing me pain and they're not causing severe menstrual problems, I'm just going to leave them there. I would say that of all the family doctors out there, mine is a pretty good one. And he said to me that potentially by the time I reach menopause, they would naturally start to shrink because of the decrease in estrogen in the body, which makes total sense to me. And I'm like, right, let's just wait for menopause. I'm still waiting for menopause. I don't know if you know, I'm now 47. I'm definitely perimenopausal, but has not reached yet. So I still get to enjoy that wonderful part of life. I feel like things just got really dark in here. Anyhow, so I'm going to go backwards a bit, and that'll probably help propel my story forward again. So, in some of the training that I did with my trainer back in the, I don't know, maybe 2013, 2014 time, he would put some fitness kickboxing in, and I really enjoyed that. And then I thought to myself, oh, it would be really great if I had added that as something that I can offer my clients in their sessions. So I went ahead and I did a certification, fitness kickboxing level 1, I believe it was. And then the instructor said that for me to have those moves feel more natural, I should go check out Muay Thai. And I was like, okay. So I checked out a couple schools. One was a little more expensive and required you to be there twice a week. The other one was less expensive, had more times in the week that they had classes available. However, when I went there, I didn't find it very friendly. And it was supposed to be a beginner class, but that was no beginner class. I can tell you that much. Having never done it before, I could tell you that was not a beginner class. I went to beginner class, or like an intro thingy, at the other school, and I was like, okay, you know what? The vibe here is friendlier. Sure, it costs a bit more, but I feel like I'm gonna get somewhere here and not dread going. So I went, and it was great, and I kept doing it, and there was a point where I was looking at, I did one of their weekend intensives to be an instructor. I wouldn't have been an instructor, a real instructor right away. It would have been more like a apprentice type thing. But at the end of it, I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. However, it gave me some other skills and things to draw off of for when I teach in my personal training sessions. So I went, and I kept going, and then there was a time when I came and went. I'm in a period now where I'm not going, mainly financial. So at the minute things improve, I am going back, and I don't even know if the regular class times will work for me anymore. So I may fork out the big bucks and just do privates with my instructor, because I get a lot out of those too. So anyhow, 2 different times I got 2 different injuries while I was doing classes. One of them was, which is first? Okay, the first one was when I took a beginner. At this point, I was no longer a beginner. I'm like blue shorts. And I took a beginner as a partner. She was a lot shorter and wasn't really experienced with holding pads yet. So imagine 5'5" person with someone who might be 5 feet, and then she's trying to hold the pads for me in the right place to kick, well, do push kicks, right? And what happens, oh gosh, I can't remember if it was my big toe, my little toe, there was some toe, it was so long ago. That all rhymes, I love it. Okay, so one of my toes anyways, I heard a sound when it hit the pad. And like normally my toes wouldn't hit the pad in that way. Normally it's like I'm perfectly placed and everything is good. However, not this time, because the pads just weren't in the right place. So I was trying to hit the pad, trying to get my foot in the right position, and that was a mistake. I should have just stopped and placed the pads where they needed to be for me, to show her where they needed to be, and then none of this would have happened. But I'm pretty sure I got like a hairline fracture or something slightly worse than that, which took a little while. And then whenever she was in class after that, I just was like, yeah, I can't have her as my partner, because it happened more than once. Like there were 2 different instances or the exact same thing happen. I'm like, no, this can't happen anymore. So, and actually I think it could have been my instructor that said sometimes beginners are actually the most dangerous people to fight with and like to do classes with, beginners, because they don't know everything yet and they can't control their body. So who suffers? The person who has the experience. That's crazy, okay? Anyhow, I'm going to move on. Another time I was in a boxing class, and it was the warm-up. And I can't remember if I was wearing my running shoes or not. But what happened was, during the warm-up, I felt my ankle roll over. Now, my ankles are famous for rolling over and nothing ever happens. So, but I rolled over my left ankle and I felt it and I was like, oh. And instead of stopping and telling anyone, I'm like, this is the beginning of class. I need to go. I need to go. So I just kept going, which was the worst thing I could have done because I created a true injury. If I had stopped, I might have not had as bad of a experience there. But yeah. And wouldn't you know that this was 3 weeks out from 3 weeks out from flamenco dance performance that I had to go do at the CNE. So I was like, there's no way I'm not dancing in that show, right? So I took all my knowledge and my skill and I rehabbed myself for 3 weeks. The goal was to dance in that show. So I went, I did my rehab things that I know how to do, and I went to the flamenco dance rehearsals with everyone. However, I did my flamenco rehearsals in running shoes, and it's a lot harder to do flamenco footwork in running shoes. However, it saved me because if I had to put the amount of pressure in through the foot as normal with like a heel and a hard shoe, that wouldn't have worked. I don't even know if my foot would have fit into that shoe at that point. I think there was some swelling. So for 3 weeks, I went to flamenco in running shoes. And then in the 3rd week, I think 2 days before the show, I was like, well, it's now or never. I've got to do the next 1 or 2 practices in my shoes because this will be what tells if I'm going to be on that stage or not. I put them on, all was good, and I was able to do my stuff with the group, and I was so happy. Also accomplished because I'm like, I have the knowledge to put myself back together after a pretty serious injury, right? And now, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3 or 4 injury stories in the past 2 weeks. And I managed to rehab myself during all of them. So if you have an injury, you can count on me to be able to help you. And, if it's something a little more serious that I don't have the scope or the knowledge in, then of course I would refer you out. But I do know what I do know, and I do know what I can help you with. Okay, so I'm trying to think now what else there is. I think we're back to the fibroid. So continuously growing, I went and got a new transvaginal ultrasound not too long ago because I was revisiting the idea of maybe getting them out. And that was only because my boyfriend was so concerned, and in actual fact, I'm like, you know what? It's still my body. They're still not bothering me. It's not painful. My periods they're different, but to me, that's only because I'm in perimenopause and things are shifting. So I just kind of dropped that again. So I'm working on, yeah, I swear, as a result of COVID, even as a trainer, and even though I had been working out through COVID, there were periods where I wasn't, and then there were periods where I would go a little crazy with food myself, and we're all human, right? I'm not going to deny that I've done certain things, and so that fibroid pregnancy look was back, and I'm like, man, I really don't like being in that place, right? The only good thing was that a lot of stuff was online, and even if I was going out to see people, I hide any extra weight that I have really well. So nobody truly ever knows. And then if they are wondering, it's kind of like, well, but it's winter and you're wearing a lot of layers, so so yeah, I'm currently in the process of bringing that look down again. What changed for me was just because of the level of fitness that I had got my body to. I feel like regular at-home workouts are great, but for me, being in the gym is even better because I need to start lifting heavy. My body responds well to lifting heavy, and cardio. It really helps me too. Not everything is textbook, so my body. I say to my boyfriend specifically, because he's studying to be a personal trainer now. I say, it might say this in the textbook, but my body responds to this. I have a client who responds to this. So regardless of if the book says cardio isn't the main thing that brings weight down, maybe it's not. However, I can tell you for a fact that my body, if I go jogging one day, the next day things have gone right, and if I go to the gym and do a great workout again the next day. Not everybody's body is going to respond like that, but mine does. So all I need to do is remain consistent. We have this gym across the street from us. It's in a community center, and it's free. So it's like, why are we not using it, right? So now we go there. We were going twice a week. This week, I think we'll be able to get there 3 times. So we're going to be looking and feeling even greater moving into the holiday season, which is a bonus because on average, most people can, what are the figures? I think a lot of people gain anywhere from 5 to 5 to 15 pounds over the holidays. Can you believe it? So if that's you, if you're struggling, you may want to jump onto a discovery call with me. I don't know. I know I'm live here. Oh, there's the comments. There's the comments. Oh, I just saw Christine's message. I almost got a black belt in Aikido and eventually stopped because of the risk of injuries. Yeah, it's so sad, like when it's something that we love, that we're good at, and but it can result in some serious injuries, and it's like, so I'm impressed that you got almost to a black belt. That's great. Or you were a black belt. I can't remember what I just read. Anyhow, yeah. So if you gained COVID weight and you haven't fully gotten it off yet, and now we're moving into the holidays, if you are a resolution maker and you don't keep your resolutions, I highly recommend that that you book a discovery call with me. It's complimentary. It's anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes in length, and I talk to you. I ask you questions to get a brief idea of where you're currently at in your health and fitness. What are your goals? What have you been doing or not doing, or what's working, what's not working, and then talking to you about what types of programming we offer in my company, Kelly Kinetics. So I'm going to drop that link down in the chat right now, and then you can check that out. Book with me, and then we can see where it goes from there. If we're a good fit for each other, then we can move on to a consultation. If you don't need help but you know someone who does, I'd much appreciate the referral, and you can provide them with the link that I just dropped down there. I'm just trying to think before I hop off if I've missed anything. No, I don't think so, because I think I've kind of come up to present day. So yeah, interesting journey. I have other parallel journeys that happened. I can discuss from like fully the dance side of things, how that all developed. That's another story all in its own. Then I can talk about me developing business as another story. But not today. Yeah, I really need to think about those. And before I tell more stories, I want to come on live and share some things physically and get you doing things. So it was a pleasure to be on again. I'll be posting something else this week. And thanks for coming on, Christine. And I hope you all have a great day, great week. And I look forward to meeting you soon. Thank you, and have an amazing, amazing Tuesday. Bye.